Have you ever felt your chest tighten just because someone casually said, "Hey, I'll stop by your place this afternoon"? Not because you dislike them, but because something inside your chest instantly contracts, as if your private space is being invaded. You force a smile. You try to act normal, but deep down, all you want is to retreat into a quiet corner, turn off your phone, and disappear for a while. And then, almost immediately, guilt shows up. Society tells you that living this way is selfish, that you should be more open, that you shouldn't separate yourself from the world. So you push yourself to socialize. You smile, you talk, you perform, while inside, all you want is silence. And when the meeting finally ends, your body feels drained, your mind heavy, as if you've just finished a race without knowing what you were even running for. If you've ever felt this way, it isn't random, because you may not just be an introvert. You may be energetically sensitive, a special type of soul Edgar Cayce once spoke about. People who hear what others don't hear, who feels what others don't see. This video is for you, for the one who's constantly misunderstood as cold, distant, or closed off, when in truth, you're simply protecting your soul from the noise and chaotic energy of the world. Watch until the end, and you'll understand why you feel exhausted after social interactions, why solitude is essential for your recovery, and why this difference is not a flaw but a sign of a mature soul, even if you were taught otherwise. If this speaks to you, follow the channel. Together, we'll go deeper into what's hidden within the soul, so you don't just understand yourself more clearly, but learn how to live in alignment with your true energy. Some people feel their hearts race the moment the doorbell rings, not from fear, but because their soul immediately senses that another energy is about to enter their space. Have you felt that? A subtle unease, like someone is about to step into a garden you've carefully tended with silence. Others might see it as nothing, but for you, it's a very real intrusion. You stay polite, you smile, you pour water, you listen. But inside, something is slowly being drained. When they leave, the room becomes quiet again. Yet you don't feel whole anymore, as if a piece of your soul has been depleted. No one touched you physically, and still, you start wondering, am I strange? Am I too cold? No, you're not strange. You're simply more sensitive than most of the world. The truth is, you sense energy the way skin senses the wind. Others don't see the wind. You feel every current brush against you. When you're alone, you're balanced, clear. Your thoughts flow smoothly. But step into a crowded space, and everything becomes chaotic. Sounds, emotions, glances, words. All of it blends into a massive wave that overwhelms you. And the irony is, this society doesn't understand that kind of sensitivity. You're told to go out more, to socialize, to be open because that's what's normal. But their version of normal may be complete disconnection from themselves. Many people live without ever listening to what their body or energy is trying to tell them. People can surround them, yet feel empty inside. You, on the other hand, only need to be in the wrong place or have the wrong conversation, and your soul immediately knows something is off. This difference makes you feel out of place, like you're speaking a language the world doesn't understand. But in truth, it's a sign of a soul that has lived many lifetimes. Older souls carry a different frequency, more refined, more sensitive, more profound. They're no longer drawn to surface-level interactions, small talk, or relationships filled with forced laughter. What they seek is a real connection, the kind where warmth is felt through presence alone. Words aren't required to understand each other. That's why they need solitude, not to isolate, but to keep their energy clean. When you're alone, you return to your most natural state. Each breath, each breeze, each heartbeat slows down and becomes clearer. You begin to hear the quiet voice. You forgot the whisper of your soul. It doesn't shout. It doesn't command. It simply says, "Stay here, be still," and you'll hear yourself again. The modern world teaches us that energy is invisible, but Edgar Cayce said, Every soul radiates light in its own way, and when that light collides with too many other lights, it dims. Sensitive people simply feel that collision more clearly. They aren't resisting others. They're protecting their flame from strong winds. When you understand this, you stop hating yourself for needing solitude. You realize that when your soul feels suffocated, it isn't weakness. It's energy protecting itself, like a flower closing when the weather turns cold. The soul closes when the environment no longer feels safe. So, don't force yourself to open just to please others. Your silence is not distance, it's healing. And sometimes, the greatest kindness you can offer the world is keeping your energy clean. So when you return, you bring calm instead of exhaustion. Don't apologize for needing quiet. Understand that being alone isn't running away. It's returning to recharge, so you can come back to the world with a brighter frequency. Some people are born belonging to silence. In crowds, they feel lonely. Alone, they feel at home. The outer world is loud, demanding, pulling. Inside, they only want to sit still and hear their own breath. They don't avoid people. They fear losing themselves in voices that aren't theirs. Society calls them introverts. That's only part of the truth. They're not just introverted, they're inwardly oriented toward the soul. They live by sensing, not reacting. They observe instead of rushing to judge. They feel deeply, sometimes so deeply they can't explain it to anyone. While others see normal, they feel energy shifting in the room. While others see faces, they sense the emotions behind the smiles. They aren't cold. They're just exhausted by pretending to care about shallow things. They don't enjoy long conversations that leave nothing behind, not from arrogance, but because their energy is drained without being nourished. They love real connection, where silence itself carries meaning. A sincere glance can matter more to them than 1,000 polite words. Spiritually inward souls didn't come to chase the rhythm of the world. They came to remind humanity of its inner rhythm. When they withdraw from noise, it isn't loneliness, it's awareness. They understand that energy has limits and must be restored through stillness. For them, silence isn't emptiness, it's space for energy to breathe. Many have blamed themselves for not fitting in, but they weren't born to blend into noise. They were born to echo stillness. In a world racing for attention, they choose to observe. While others speak endlessly, they choose to listen. That's why they're often the first to sense what's coming. A shift, a sign, a subtle movement in collective energy. Edgar Cayce stated that older souls possess heightened sensitivity. They're like antennas, receiving frequencies others can't detect. That's why they tire faster, but awaken faster too. A fake smile can drain them for hours. A cruel remark wrapped in politeness can make them want to leave instantly, not because they're weak, but because they operate at a higher frequency and feel every energetic mismatch. Sensitivity has a cost, constant fatigue, but its gift is depth, seeing beyond surfaces, understanding what's unspoken. When they learn to protect themselves, they become natural healers. They don't need to do anything extraordinary. Simply being present in calm awareness softens the world around them. The truth is, they don't need to fit in. They already belong to a greater order, the quiet order of awakened souls holding the world together beneath the surface. If this is you, stop trying to fix yourself to fit the world. Learn to protect your energy. Learn to say no when something feels out of alignment. Spiritual introverts didn't come to please the world. They came to help the world remember its soul. Don't see sensitivity as a burden. See it as the soul's compass, guiding you where you belong and where you need to walk away. Have you ever come home from a gathering without doing anything strenuous, without talking much, yet felt like you just survived a storm? Your body is exhausted. Your head is heavy. Your mood is low for no clear reason. You think you're weak, but in reality, your energy has been depleted. Every person carries an energy field, an invisible layer surrounding the body. When you're alone, that field is stable, clear, light. But in crowds, frequencies collide, interweaving, pulling, pushing. The more sensitive you are, the stronger the impact. You don't just hear words, you hear emotions. You don't just see faces, you sense what's hidden beneath. Unconsciously, you absorb it all: joy, sadness, fatigue, and even anxiety. We assume exhaustion comes from doing too much, but for sensitive souls, it also comes from what can't be seen. A fake conversation can drain you as much as running miles on end, because energy isn't only spent through action, it's spent every time you endure vibrations that don't match your own. In crowds, you're like a radio turned up to full volume, receiving every frequency at once. Others hear one channel. You hear 10, every emotion, every glance, every laugh mixed with a trace of awkwardness. All of it plays at once inside your mind. So it's no surprise that when you get home, all you want to do is turn off the lights, silence your phone, and sit still in the dark until your breathing finally slows. That isn't avoiding society. It's the soul's natural act of self-defense. Many people don't understand this. They label you as picky, closed off, and distant. What they don't realize is that every meeting, for you, is a real exchange of energy. You're not just talking, you're exchanging life force. And when you meet people carrying heavy energy, you end up using your own light to balance them. When that energy leaves, they feel lighter, but you feel drained. That doesn't make you weak. It shows that you're living at a deeper level of awareness. You sense what others overlook, and because of that, you also need to recover in ways others don't. For most people, sleep is enough. For you, sometimes it takes silence, meditation, or simply sitting and looking at the sky. Every second of stillness is a moment where your energy slowly refills. Edgar Cayce once said that energy is never lost, it only changes form. So when you feel exhausted by people, don't rush to blame yourself for being fragile. Understand that you are using your energy, often unconsciously, to help keep balance in this world. But if you keep giving without learning how to restore yourself, you will gradually fade, like a lamp that's never refueled. Let your body and soul rest. When you feel tired, that is the soul calling you home. Come back. Stop forcing yourself to blend into the crowd. Return to the place where energy is reborn. There, in silence, you'll feel the current return. Your heart rate slows. Your breath deepens. Your mind clears. Everything settles back into its rightful place. You weren't born to endure crowds. You were born to soften the world with your stillness. And sometimes, the deepest form of healing isn't saying more. It's allowing silence to let energy do its own work. When you feel exhausted after social interactions, don't assume something is wrong with you. See it as a message from your soul. You need to return, not to escape, but to be restored. There are moments when you wonder why you can't get excited about the things that make others happy. A loud party, a new car, a polite compliment. None of it really touches you. You smile out of courtesy, but inside you feel quiet. Not because you're cold, but because your soul is operating at a different frequency. This world runs on many layers of energy. Each soul carries a different bandwidth, like thousands of musical notes playing at once. Some people only hear the heavy notes of material things, money, status, power. Others hear the delicate resonance of love, truth, and compassion. When you feel out of place, it's not because you don't belong. It's because you're listening to a melody others haven't learned to hear yet. Sensitive people naturally detect these subtle vibrations. They sense when someone's energy is low, not because it's spoken, but because the atmosphere feels heavy, tense, like stepping into a room where an argument just ended, even though it's now silent. Their soul reads what the eyes can't see. Cayce called this the soul's energetic field, a space where all energy is recorded, even emotions that were never put into words. But this ability isn't just a gift. It's also a challenge. The more refined you are, the more easily you're affected. Others can pass through chaotic environments without issue. You carry that chaos with you for the rest of the day, Like someone with heightened hearing. Even a small sound can trigger a headache. Sensitive souls are the same. They hear the sound of surrounding energy, and it isn't easy to turn it off. Casey once said, "The more evolved a soul becomes, the more silence it requires." High frequencies cannot survive long in chaotic environments. They need clarity to maintain their resonance. Just as a beautiful melody can't coexist with noise, your soul needs space to sound in its own rhythm. So your lack of interest in loud entertainment isn't boredom. It's because your frequency has already moved beyond that emotional layer. You no longer need stimulation to feel alive. Your joy comes from subtler things. A quiet morning, the smell of coffee in the kitchen, sunlight resting on a table, a sincere conversation without pretense. That difference can make you feel lonely at times, but in truth, your soul is simply guiding you back to where you belong, to places where similar vibrations meet. You may have noticed how you instantly feel a connection with certain people, even when meeting them for the first time. That isn't a coincidence. It's two frequencies recognizing each other in a sea of faces. Souls with similar resonance will always find one another without effort. What matters is that you don't force yourself to lower your frequency just to fit into the world. When you pretend to care about what you don't believe in, laugh at things you don't truly enjoy, you're trapping your soul in a resonance that isn't its own. Over time, you lose touch with your true nature, and when the soul goes quiet, life begins to feel shallow. Instead of changing yourself to be accepted, keep your frequency clear. At that level of vibration, you don't need to attract anyone. You simply exist, and those who resonate will find you. Because energy always recognizes itself. When you live in alignment with your true frequency, your inner world becomes unexpectedly calm. You stop searching for happiness outside. Everything you need is already unfolding within. Your soul begins to sing its own song. Slow, deep, honest. Your difference isn't a burden. It's the frequency your soul chose to experience this world. Don't force it to blend into noise. Keep your resonance clear. Because of that clarity, you naturally spread peace to those around you. There are days when you do almost nothing. Meet a few people, say a few words. Yet when you return home, it feels as if all your vitality has been drained. Your head is heavy, your heart races. Your body is so exhausted that you don't want to speak another word. You sit in silence, confused by how depleted you feel. The truth is, you've experienced energetic fatigue, a kind of exhaustion no one can see, but your soul feels more intensely than physical pain. Every person carries an aura, a layer of energy surrounding the body, like an invisible shield. When you're joyful and fulfilled, it's bright and strong. When you're stressed, sad, or exposed to heavy energy, that aura thins, weakens, and leaks. Energetically sensitive people often have wider, more open energy fields. They absorb faster, deeper, and lose energy faster as a result. In every interaction, an invisible exchange takes place. Someone who talks excessively doesn't just take your time, they take your energy. A negative person doesn't just darken the mood, they leave an energetic imprint that your system must work to neutralize. When this happens repeatedly, fatigue sets in without a clear explanation. You are not weak. You're simply living at a frequency too refined for a world that's too loud. Your soul is like a delicate instrument that needs regular tuning. Every emotion, every place you visit, every person you meet leaves a note in your energetic field. If you don't learn how to clear it, the inner music becomes distorted and fatigue begins to play. Casey once said the physical body is only the shadow of the energy body. When energy is out of balance, the body reacts first. Headaches, insomnia, lethargy, shortness of breath, a feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world in your chest. These aren't illnesses, they're messages from the soul saying, "I'm overloaded." For sensitive people, rest isn't just lying down. It's disconnecting energetically from the outside world. That's why you feel relief in warm water, in rain, or standing by the ocean. Water is one of the strongest conductors of energy. It washes away old vibrations. Each time water flows over you, the soul is cleansed. You feel lighter, even if you don't know why. Some people recover through meditation, others through nature. Trees, soil, sky, they carry slower, steadier frequencies than humans. When you connect with them, your energy rebalances. Some people find peace just by watching a sunset, not because the view is beautiful, but because the universe is quietly restoring them. Yet the most important element isn't external, it's permission. You must allow yourself to rest. You must accept that needing silence, needing distance from the world, isn't laziness or avoidance. It's a natural requirement of the soul. Energetic fatigue only becomes a problem when we refuse to listen to it. You keep forcing yourself to run. Even though your soul collapsed long ago, you can learn how to protect yourself. Before stepping into a crowded place, imagine a soft layer of light surrounding you, like a warm golden cloak. It doesn't separate you from the world, but it keeps your energy intact after meeting someone who leaves you feeling heavy. Take 3 deep breaths. Place your hand on your chest and quietly say, "I return your energy to you. I take my energy back." That's all. Yet in that moment, your soul remembers something essential. Your energy belongs to you. No one has the right to take it. Sensitive people don't change the world by fighting it. They do it by keeping their energy bright enough, gentle enough, so that their light naturally spreads. Because only when you are full can you bring peace to others. See your exhaustion as a loving signal. Your soul is calling you back. When you allow yourself to rest, when you stop and breathe, energy heals itself. And in that moment, you're not only restoring yourself, you're quietly healing the world around you. Some people are born carrying a kind of tiredness they can't name. They look at life as if they've seen it all before. Every face, every story, every emotion, all of it feels strangely familiar, to the point where it no longer excites them. They no longer search for joy in small things like most people do. They are calm, quiet, and sometimes carry a sadness without a clear reason. This isn't depression, it's the mark of an old soul, a soul that has lived many lifetimes, witnessed countless upheavals, and now longs only for stillness. A young soul seeks experience. A mature soul seeks meaning. An old soul seeks peace. They no longer crave arguments to prove they're right, nor recognition to feel seen. They understand that everything once gained will eventually be lost. Everything once important will eventually pass. What they want to preserve is inner clarity, something the world cannot buy and time cannot take away. When they were younger, they tried to fit in. They thought they needed to be like everyone else. More outgoing, more open, more lively. But the harder they tried, the farther they drifted from themselves. Every forced smile pulled their soul a little deeper underwater. Only later did they realize they weren't born to fit in. They were born to return to themselves. Edgar Cayce once said, "Old souls often carry energetic memory from many past lives. Even if they don't remember consciously, they retain the feeling of lessons already learned. That's why they respond to life with natural understanding rather than analysis. They see lessons in every event, karma in every relationship. They blame others less because they know nothing happens without reason. But sometimes, because they understand so much, they feel lonely. They speak less, not because they have nothing to say, but because there's no one left to say it to. That loneliness isn't sharp or dramatic. It hums quietly, like a sad note beneath everything. They don't want to be hurt again, yet they don't want to close their heart either. So they choose stillness. They learn to be present in silence, to observe, to listen, and to speak only when truly necessary. The nature of an old soul is awareness after surviving storms. They no longer react to small things because they know everything is just a wave on the surface. They choose calm in depth, and in that depth, they recover their strength. A strength that doesn't need noise, doesn't need proof. If you find yourself uninterested in crowds, if you feel more peaceful when alone, if you often understand people before they speak, your soul may have traveled farther than you realize. You're not cold. You're just exhausted by old cycles. Conflict, collapse, restarting again and again. Your soul is craving true stillness, a place with no reacting, no chasing, just existing as it is. But this stillness is not an ending. It's a transformation, like a lake becoming perfectly still before moonlight reflects on its surface. Your soul needs quiet to reflect truth. When the noise fades, you'll hear a new call, not from the world, but from yourself. An old soul doesn't come here to escape life, but to teach others how to slow down, listen, and feel. They are living proof that one can endure deep wounds and still remain compassionate, that one can witness loss and still believe in light. Stillness is not laziness. It is the soul's maturity, when it no longer needs noise to feel alive. That is when life truly begins. Some people fear solitude like darkness, but for souls that have traveled far, solitude is no longer an enemy. It's an old friend, quietly waiting for them to return. Because only when we are alone can we truly hear ourselves. In noise, every signal is distorted. In stillness, everything becomes clear. Every thought, every heartbeat, every hidden fear. People often confuse loneliness with solitude. Loneliness is being surrounded by people yet feeling empty. Solitude is choosing to be alone so you can be filled again. Loneliness comes from lack. Solitude comes from awareness. As you mature spiritually, you realize being alone is not abandonment. It's returning to recharge the soul. Casey once said, "No one can hear their soul while they're still running." This modern world forces constant motion, working, connecting, proving, performing. But the soul doesn't operate on speed. It operates on rhythm. When you stop, your breath evens out, your mind settles, your energy gathers. Solitude stops being emptiness and becomes fuel for rebirth. Sensitive people need solitude the way trees need soil. In silence, energy recalibrates. Emotional residue picked up from others is washed away. Something strange happens. The quieter you become, the brighter you feel. The stiller you are, the more deeply you sense. In your small private space, you touch something the noisy world cannot. Pure presence. Every great spiritual teacher passed through solitude, not because they rejected humanity, but because they needed distance from the crowd, to hear the voice of the sacred. The Buddha, under the Bodhi tree. Jesus, in the desert. Lao Tzu leaves the city. They knew light appears only when darkness is deep enough, and only when humans are quiet enough. Can they hear what lies beyond reason? Solitude is also the most honest mirror. When there's no one left to perform for, you face your true self. Unhealed wounds, unspoken longings, emotions you pretended to forget. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but that's when healing truly begins. You don't need to run from sadness. Sit with it. Let it speak. Sometimes sadness just wants to be heard, and then it dissolves. Many ask how to know when to be alone and when to open back up. The answer isn't in books. It's in your body. When energy drops, your chest feels heavy, your mind is tired, your sleep is shallow, your soul needs rest. When you feel light, peaceful, inspired, you're ready to return. Solitude and connection are like breathing in and out. You can't choose only one. Forget to breathe in, and eventually you collapse. The world teaches us how to conquer, succeed, be loved, but no one teaches us how to be alone. Solitude is a lesson the soul must learn on its own. The lesson of presence. Being with yourself without feeling empty. That's when you no longer need anything to fill you. You stop depending on others' energy because you've become your own source. Solitude is not punishment. It's a reward. It restores wholeness no one can take away. When you learn to be alone and still feel complete, you stop fearing loss of others, or of yourself. There is a powerful line between healing and stillness, and isolation that withers the soul. At first, you choose solitude to calm down, to listen, but slowly, fear of the outside world can creep in. You stop wanting to meet anyone. You stop sharing. You stop opening. You say you're on a spiritual path, but in truth, you're hiding. Isolation doesn't arrive overnight. It starts with declined invitations, unread messages, mornings when you don't want to leave bed. You tell yourself you're just protecting your energy, but then silence becomes heavy. It stops nourishing you and begins to imprison you. I've been there. I turned off my phone, avoided conversations, thinking I was protecting myself. But the quieter I became, the more I felt myself disappearing. Everything felt distant, like watching life through glass. When nothing touched me, I stopped feeling myself too. That's when I understood. Stillness without love becomes isolation. Casey once said, "A soul that closes itself out of fear is starving itself." The soul cannot grow in fear, it needs contact. Even pain teaches growth, not walls that block all risk. When you shut yourself off, you don't just block negative energy. You block positive energy, too, like a room sealed too long. Even fresh air can't enter. True stillness softens us. Isolation hardens us. If after silence you feel lighter, inspired, wanting to share, that's healing stillness. If you feel heavier, fearful, withdrawn, stillness has turned into isolation. Isolation is subtle. It convinces you that you're safe, while slowly pulling you away from frequencies that could lift you. The universe runs on exchange. When you close yourself off, energy stops flowing. You neither give nor receive. And in that stagnation, the soul dries up, like water trapped behind a dam. Sometimes people hide behind spirituality to justify fear. They say, "I don't want negative energy," but often they're just afraid of being hurt again. Avoidance feels smart, yet fear grows louder in silence. No one heals fear by running from it. Only by facing it does it dissolve. Isolation isn't the enemy. It's a mirror showing wounds you haven't touched yet. Ask yourself, are you protecting your soul or imprisoning it? Peace signals protection. Contraction signals confinement. No one is meant to live in silence forever. Even the oldest souls need connection, not to take, but to give. A candle only shines once it's lit. Your light needs to be seen to matter. Stillness is a phase, not a destination. It's where you recover, then return with a steadier heart, deeper understanding, and openness to life. Don't turn stillness into a wall. Stillness heals. Connection matures. Learn when to return inward and when to open outward. That is the true path of the awakened soul. At some point, you'll realize you can't stay hidden forever, no matter how gentle solitude feels. Something inside urges you outward again, not to make noise, but to serve. Every old soul carries an ancient promise. When your light is strong enough, share it. Casey said, "Evolved souls return not to find peace, but to bring light where darkness remains." That doesn't mean becoming a teacher or savior. Sometimes service is simply living honestly, showing up at the right place, at the right time, with calm energy. A sincere sentence, a gentle look, a small action. These can reach deeper than you imagine. Many introverts fear stepping out because they worry they'll be drained again. But you don't need to change who you are to serve. You don't need to be loud or grand. You only need to share without losing yourself. Service is not sacrifice. It's a conscious presence. An inward soul is like a candle. Its light isn't blinding, but steady. What makes it beautiful is not burning everywhere, but holding its flame in the wind. That's balance. You can give without collapsing, love without dissolving, open without losing your center. The key is knowing when to step out and when to return. Life is breath. Being in the world is the exhale, sharing, connecting. Returning to yourself is the inhale, receiving, restoring. Only inhale, and energy stagnates. Only exhale, and you burn out. Spiritual life requires both. Some people leave the world to find peace, then realize peace isn't found by hiding. It's built inside. When you're grounded within, you can stand in crowds and still hear your soul breathe. You stop needing escape. Serving the world doesn't mean carrying it. You don't need to heal anyone. Simply live as proof that peace exists. When others see you calm amid chaos, they begin asking how. That question is the seed of their awakening. You teach with words, but you touch with how you live. Introverts serve through energy, not noise. Sometimes your silence is stronger than 1,000 speeches. If you found balance between stillness and movement, giving and receiving, self and world, you've completed a major part of your soul's journey. Because the purpose of introversion is not to hide forever, but to find your center, so you can step out without losing it. You weren't born to separate from the world, but to offer it a gentler, deeper, truer way of being. When you live aligned with your energy, the world adjusts around you. Eventually, you stop explaining yourself, not from arrogance or exhaustion, but because truth doesn't need approval. When you know who you are, no validation is required. Those who understand don't need explanation. Those who don't, won't, no matter what you say. And you begin to live lightly, like water returning to its river, effortless, unquestioned. You may have spent years trying to be loved, understood, accepted. You shrank yourself to fit others' molds, softened your voice, smiled more, hid your sensitivity, until one day you realized each time you did, you lost a piece of your soul. No recognition is worth losing yourself. Casey said, "No one can live your soul for you, so don't let anyone decide how you exist. The world is loud. Everyone has opinions. They tell you to toughen up, blend in, feel less. But if your soul was made to feel deeply, observe quietly, understand subtly, that is your strength, not a flaw. Living true to your soul isn't about being different. It's about not pretending. True courage isn't standing before crowds. It's facing yourself without escape. It's hard to be honest with yourself, because it requires embracing what you once rejected. But only then does the soul become free. You can be gentle without being weak, quiet without being passive, slow without being lost. Each step grounded, guided by the soul. And one day you'll realize people don't need to understand you for you to love them. When you stop seeking validation, you start living in presence, not performance. You shine without trying. You stand out without effort, because real light comes from clarity, not noise. Living true to your soul means walking a path without applause. Not everyone will understand your silence or your choices, but you do, and that's enough. We're not here to be loved by everyone, but to love rightly, starting with ourselves. When you live aligned, the wrong connections fall away. The right ones draw near. Life becomes lighter, simpler, deeper. You stop searching, stop comparing, stop resisting. Each day, you do one thing. Live honestly with your feelings, your thoughts, your breath. In the end, the soul doesn't need fame, money, or approval. It needs truth. Waking each morning knowing you don't have to perform. Sleeping each night with peace in your heart. Not because the day was perfect, but because you were honest. Living truthfully doesn't make you lonely. It filters what no longer fits. When you no longer need to be understood, the world becomes simpler. And that's when the soul becomes truly free. If these words resonate with you, leave a comment and follow the channel, because perhaps our souls once promised to meet again, not to teach, but to remind each other who we truly are.